Good morning, everybody. This is Joshua with K4CO Radio. We are breaking in for a wonderful special live interview with Denver's own Orca, the band. I'm sitting here with Sarah, our Vice President of Media Relations, and we are here with John Tyson of Orca, the band. How's it going, John?
Going well. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming in. I absolutely love it. And we got James McPhillips as well. How's it going?
Also doing great. Pumped to be here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Thanks for coming in. We absolutely love it. So this is going to be the second time we have some live songs being played in our studio. So, yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks again.
Thanks for letting us break out the guitars.
Yeah, of course. Well, we're going to get to a song real quick, but John, tell us, Orca, and then there's Orca the band. I didn't know at first. It was like, is it just Orca? Is it Orca the band? What's going on here?
We thought, look, we're talking about it, right? Yeah. Orca the band. You're going to ask what's up with the band, and then you're talking about it. That's kind of the logic.
And any particular reason you came up with the name?
No, we've been talking about it a bunch lately. So I moved out here with a guy that's not in the band anymore, and we went through a bunch of names, and I think we settled on a one-word animal name. There seemed to be a lot of successful one-word animal name bands. And then orcas are majestic. What eats an orca? It's the apex predator.
I like it.
I like it. Top of the food chain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I knew there was a reason. I was like, it's not the great whites, it's not the dolphins, but orca.
For a minute, we were going to be really cool, awesome, and it was going to be like a running joke.
You're listening to Really Cool, Awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, really cool, awesome.
I love it.
The band helps with differentiating on Spotify too. There's a couple orcas out there, so we've talked about dropping the band soon.
Yeah, I think we will.
So you might just go straight with Orca.
Mm-hmm.
Just Orca.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it. Well, let's get to a song. What's the first song that you guys are going to play for us?
We're going to play a song called Wide.
Wide. All right. I love it. Well, everybody, you're listening to Orca the Band on K4CO Radio, and they're going to play a little song here called Wide for us.
Arriving to the city, those summer nights are just weeks away. Riding on a feeling that somewhere might have more to say. And it never seemed appealing, no, until another way your path would go. And there's something rich and meaning here. You see it when you know. Run for the roses, rolling with the tide. A moment frozen wide. One and aloneness crashing they divide in moments frozen wide. Feels like a new beginning, an ending left behind. But the question's always spinning now, deep inside my mind. For the moments that we're living here, are we paying in time? Or something for the past of free? Or something out of mind? for the roses, rolling with the tide. A moment frozen wide. One and aloneness crash and they divide. In moments frozen wide.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. That was Wide.
Thank you.
Wide by Orca, the band. What do you think, Sarah?
I think this is so amazing. Just keep going. I feel like we get to have our own personal concert here. It's very cool. That's such a beautiful song.
Thank you.
Did you co-write it together? What was?
No, I wrote that one probably 2 years ago. It's kind of about moving to Denver and this girl I was seeing before I moved to Denver. But just, I like that idea of a moment frozen wide, you know? It's like taking the visual of a widescreen, put it on something that's not visual. I like that, you know?
That's awesome. No, it was very beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I wish I had talent. It's fun to always be on this side and be like, wow, I can revel in the greatness that you all are. So that was so beautiful.
Well, thank you so much. Seriously,
of course.
thank you.
I think I missed a couple a little early for the singing, but
All good.
Never know.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So,
awesome.
when you wrote that, and then when did you start playing around in Denver?
yeah. So I've been here 3.5 years. 3 years in March. Moved out here with two guys. I'm from Richmond, Virginia, and me and one of them grew up together. Didn't go to college together, but had played a little bit in Virginia and wanted to start a band. We're like trying to find a house we could put a studio in. Then did that pretty immediately at one of our friends' birthday parties in May. So it's been right around 3 years that we've been playing. And funny enough, we worked at the same company at that time, but didn't end up playing together till a year and a half later.
Yeah, I was very early on playing guitar. Still, I was big into like the Grateful Dead, and I'd talk about it a lot at work. And I knew he was in a band and played guitar, but like I kind of thought he was into like metal music just based off of his vibe.
You do look like a metalhead.
Yeah. Which absolutely nothing wrong with it, but I don't know how to play like that personally. And it just ended up happening where Orca had been going for a while, and they were playing a party, like a yard party, and the keyboard player, Rob, who's in the band, incredible musician, he was out of town, and John knew I played guitar, and he was like, would you sit in? And it was the first time I had played like in front of people, like realistically in front of people, and I was practicing, like I'd get home from work and I'd practice for 8 more hours and stuff like that just to be ready for it. And because I had seen Orca shows before at like Cervantes and I think your mom's house and stuff, and I was like, I gotta get in on that. So here I am in on that now.
Yeah.
Play a lot at your mom's house, huh? I love that joke.
I was gonna make that joke too.
Yeah.
Whenever we play there, I always preface it with this venue called your mom's house, so I'm not like offending anyone when I ask them to come to our show.
Very upset with me because we would play at our house. And he was like, "Whoa, we're packing up." He's like, "Where's the next show?" And I go, "Oh, it's your mom's house on Wednesday." And he did not take it well. Immediately flipped on me. I was like, "Oh man, no." It's the name of the place.
Well, speaking about Cervantes, you guys are playing Cervantes on the other side coming up. When is that?
Yeah, August 9th. What is that? 2 weeks from Friday, I think.
Today, yeah.
2 weeks from today, it's Friday.
From today, yeah, it is Friday.
But yeah, we're very excited. Playing with Rado. It's their album release party. And then 2 other bands, Moonradish and Boobala, are playing on the patio, I believe. But very excited. We got a nice 75-minute set.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we got a lot of time to really jam out.
So second time back there this year. We played earlier this year with a band from Texas called Panic Stricken, and they're like a widespread panic tribute band. And it was maybe the most fun night of my life. It was just sold out, the whole 450 person venue, and so much fun. So excited to be back.
We're
there.
very excited.
Yeah.
Nice. That was actually going to be a follow-up question. I was going to ask, because you guys are out quite frequently playing live gigs. So was that your most favorite one that you've done?
That one, yes. Yeah, probably. It's just like, really any of them. Like, I just love playing so much, and like to play for that many people, when you look out and as far as you can see there were people and people dancing, like I feed off of that. Like we got it all professionally recorded and stuff, like video, and we've been putting out videos on YouTube from it, and you can see parts where I'm just like cracking up at like how much fun I'm having.
That's awesome.
And so that would probably be my favorite one, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think the big ones are fun too because it's a lot easier to prep really hard, you know, do 2 practices a week and stuff, and really have our set down. Because I mean, we didn't even get into the kind of band we are, but we're we're a rock band. We like to improvise a lot. So for like 3-hour shows, there's no plan. Songs can go really long. But I think for these Cervantes ones where we want to get as many people there as we can, we want to film it, get a really tight sort of thing we're delivering, we obviously put a lot more work into what exactly we want that to be. So when it goes well, it's fun. But
sure.
It's all fun.
Yeah. And you, of course, feed off the vibe. I totally get that.
Oh,
if you have
yeah,
people
sure.
jamming out with you,
Yeah.
you guys are complete rock stars up there, That's very cool.
That's what my mom says as well. She should be listening right now.
Oh,
so.
awesome.
Maureen.
Well, shout out to Maureen. There you
Well,
go.
Marie,
too,
James'
if you're on
mom.
there.
I like it.
Oh, you got to love the support.
Yeah.
So if you all could play at any venue, what would it be? Is there like a dream out there to say, we really want to play at where?
I mean, the immediate one is playing Cervantes' Masterpiece Ballroom, which, like, it's not the long-term dream, but, like, that's a more immediate one of 1,000-person venue would be the biggest place we've played, and it's more realistic right now in terms of, like, in our grasp, but... I mean, Red Rocks.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was gonna
yeah.
Before
every
I
time.
even moved here, I hadn't even been to Red Rocks, so I just knew it was it. So that's definitely a dream, but
Yeah. All in due time.
all in due time.
Yeah.
Especially the way you guys play off of each other and everything. I mean, the acoustics at Red Rocks is just
Yeah.
absolutely amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I still don't know sometimes why certain shows are there when it's all about the acoustics. But that's just me. That's just my
Yeah.
out there. So,
Totally understand.
well, John, I take it you write a lot of the material here. You write a lot of the lyrics, a lot of the music. What's kind of your writing process when it comes to it? One, or do you write a lot of I guess autobiographical, fictional, and do you write the words first, then the music? I mean, what's kind of your process here?
We talk about this a lot. That's why I just laughed when you said that, because I think we do it so differently. But I would say a lot of the times I get an idea and then I just sort of chase it down the rabbit hole. And it's not usually, if ever, lyrics first, which I like sometimes, I don't like sometimes, because then you end up... Like, I'll write a progression and then just start singing stuff to it. And then there's a song's worth of words, but you kind of then have to decide what those words mean, and that's not doesn't feel like it's as intentional. But it's just kind of how it goes for me. So I don't question it too much. But at the same time, I think, like, there's a lot more value in this is the message I want to try to deliver. How do I want it to feel, So we're trying to get more into that. I think that's more how you would approach it. But, yeah, I'm open to whatever feels right.
You like collaborating with each other on writing these songs?
Yeah, we actually, because John's been going with Orca for 3 years now. I've been like the past year and a half, and we've been roommates for that amount of time, and so it's a lot of playing. And the first time we ever tried to write a song together, it was like instant. It was all in one night, finished it. I would say maybe our best song that we have. We haven't put it out on Spotify and stuff. There's a YouTube video out there, but it's fun because we have such wildly different writing processes where, how John was saying, like, he'll pick the music and then start humming over it and just try to fit words in. Whereas, like, I struggle to jump right into his writing process of, he's like, I need a line to fit right here. And I really struggle with that because I need to decide what I'm writing about and have, like, a very clear, like, it's all revolving around this one small feeling that I'm going to try to, like, really expand upon that one small feeling. And so it's been interesting writing together. So we wrote that one. We've messed around with writing more. We also write a lot of, like, jams together, like sections of jams and stuff like that, which is just so fun because, like, I can't do any of the things on guitar that he can do. And we think about guitar so differently and think about songwriting so differently. But for both of us, it comes from a place of, like, we just love good music. And so it works. But yeah, our writing processes are really different. Yeah.
That's the best way to do it when you both have very different, unique styles.
Yeah.
And you just blend them together, mesh them together.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
definitely.
I have no hopes of doing what he does and ripping guitar solos and that. I love being, like, in Bob Weir's documentary, like the Grateful Dead Bob Weir's documentary, he talked about, like, being the best number two to somebody. And like, I think that's the coolest idea of like being part of like the greater good, because like I don't think you would have liked to have us on if I was the lead guitarist of this band, you know?
I mean, but that's in such a huge part of us like leaning into this too, is you being willing and open about playing that role, because I think we can then talk a lot more about what does that look like in this song, what does that look like in what we're trying to accomplish with this jam, whatever it might be, you know. So very glad I met you.
Back at you. Nice little friendship moment.
You guys do a lot of harmonies together, which I absolutely love. I think a lot of music nowadays. I love the old school harmonies. You know, some of my favorites is like the Byrds and the Beach Boys, and you know the types where even like singing along with the Beach Boys. A lot of times I can't because they're so good at it,
right?
Yeah, you know. So is that something that you really like throwing into a lot of your songs? Is really working on that harmony aspect of it? And are you two the only singers of the band?
No, we're actually, neither of us is the best singer in the band. So Rob, who plays keys in the band, we wish he could be here right now, but he like toured in a choir in college, and for the harmonies, he like teaches us our different parts for the harmonies a lot of times, and he's just such a great musician and such a great singer. And that's I'm really glad you brought that up, because that's been such a topic of conversation between us, is like really focusing on our harmonies. We're doing more acoustic gigs, just the two of us, to focus on them because it's easier to sing in that setting. And like, it just gives you a level of legitimacy as a band, I think, when it's more than just one person singing the melody. Like, we were talking to our buddy Peter, who he started the band with originally, and we were talking about harmonies, and he's like, it's literally in the name, like harmony is good, you know. And so it's thanks for noticing, because we've really been working on them recently.
Yeah, definitely. No, I always really notice that. I love that aspect.
That's
awesome.
Like,
like the Eagles, you know.
Yeah,
can't beat it.
Right. Oh yeah.
I agree with the harmony. That was so beautiful when you both started. I was like, oh my gosh, that
that's
was
awesome.
Perfect.
I wish we had Rob here for it.
I know.
He really is the best singer of all of us.
Well, you guys knocked it out of the park, so no offense to Rob. I'm sure he's amazing, but man, that was...
No, he's saying like, I taught him that.
Exactly.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Rob. All right.
And you all have two other people, right? There's a total of 5?
Yep.
Is that correct? Okay.
Don O'Gorman plays bass with us, and Walker McNeese plays drums. The two newest people to the group. We've had people come and go, obviously, in 3 years, but love playing with both of them. Don is the least new of the two. Don's played in a bunch of bands around Denver. We just started playing a song from one of his old bands, Mountain Strange, that's called Colorado Sky. That's really awesome. It's like bluegrass vibe with a really cool composed part in the middle. So it's been awesome for everybody to sort of bring something now, and that's a whole new sound for us, you know, the electric bluegrass.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And one of you plays the bongos. Is that true?
No, that was Peter, who we were just talking about.
Oh,
who started
gotcha.
with.
Okay.
For a minute, we had
I saw it
2
in
drummers,
okay.
and then that turned into drummers and bongos. But
Okay.
Kyle, James' brother, somewhere on the roadmap, we're getting him out here to play bongos.
Yeah, Kyle, if you're listening, he's in the Army right now, so he's stationed in North Carolina, but when he gets out, we've offered the bongo position to him.
It's his.
So
That's cool. You guys have gone through a lot of different vibes, which is cool to be kind of flexible and ever evolving with the group.
Yeah, I mean, I think we want to do it. Like, we would love to be musicians. And so it's a battle. You know, we have jobs too. Everybody has jobs. And it's like, if you want to try to do more, I get it if people don't have time for that. So I think that's been a big part of it, honestly. But it's also been awesome to be able to work with so many different types of people. I know I've learned so much in terms of trying to lead a band and being collaborative in a band. But yeah, I'm glad that we've been able to sort of change, you know.
Adapt, just kind of evolve.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, well, I don't know about you, Sarah, but I kind of want to hear something else. I want to hear another song.
Absolutely, 100%. Is there some harmony in this one?
There's some harmony.
there is.
Yeah, baby.
Typically sung by Rob.
Yeah, this
so
is a new part for me. So
Well, Rob, you're getting either really highlighted or thrown under the bus. I can't really tell at the moment, but next time we need to have him in here. And all 3 of you sing at the same time sometime? Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very nice. And all right, so what song are you going to play for us now?
Yeah, so this one's called Songbird. This is I wrote it a few months ago, and we've played it a couple times now live, and both of these songs actually are going to go on our next album. We were talking a bit before about where after this Serve show, we're going to slow down a little bit on shows and record the second studio album. And so, this one will go on that.
All right. Perfect. Nice. Sounds good. Well, K4CO Radio, we're interviewing Orca, the band, and we got John Tyson and James McPhillips in here, and let's bring it on. Songbird.
Cool.
All right.
You perched so high. A songbird sings to me under the starlit sky. Feathers glistening for sore eyes were the sight. Your melody is a whisper that fades into the night, into the night. Like a river, your song, it winds through the air. A tune that lives with me and never leaves my ear. I listen day and night, and I lose all sense of time. But a songbird's heart is free, never to be mine. Thought that you might stay. Oh, you were meant to fly away. But when the cold comes, the green, it turns to gray. Bloom when they hear your winsome tune, reflecting energy from above the crescent moon. I wanna feel your melody on all my remaining days, but you can't fly if you're locked inside a cage. Turns to gray. It turns to gray. It's to gray. Songbird, songbird. gray.
Cool.
Orca, the band, right there with Songbird. That was awesome, guys. Absolutely love it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Butchered a couple Rob's lines there, but
That's the great
Sorry,
thing,
Rob.
though. Is
I would have no one would ever know.
no one would know.
Okay,
Exactly.
it is funny how
So
often
beautiful.
that, because we're funny about saying sorry when we're playing in like informal settings, you know, and afterwards everybody's always like, what are you guys talking about?
No one would ever know. I mean, that is so beautiful. I want to
Thank
hear
you.
about that
Yeah, that
song.
song's awesome.
I mean, I
Sorry,
know
I'm-
what I was. No, take your time. I know what I was thinking about.
Can you tell me first what you were thinking about? I'd love
Is
to
it
hear
gonna
that.
Is it gonna change what you're gonna say?
No, it's very set in stone what I wrote this about. But I'm really curious what you thought of, because that's cool that you had a
For
just
sure.
initial reaction. sort
Oh,
of thing
absolutely.
to it.
Well, to me, it's absolutely about a relationship between two people, and it's about trying to capture someone and that person. Because I guess I'm looking through this lens as me, because I'm a very independent person.
Mm-hmm.
Even in a relationship, I like to kind of do my own thing. So it's like letting her fly away and letting her go on her own journey. But a lot of times, birds come back.
Yeah.
So I was thinking maybe it's that type of relationship where it's
Yeah.
circular.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Okay.
So in your scenario, do you come back?
With I put myself very much on the hot seat with that. Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I usually I'm a very independent person, so it's like let them kind of spread their wings like
Yeah.
the bird and let them flourish and do what they have to do, and you can accompany them and then have them come back to the nest.
Yeah. Well, cool. Thank you for sharing that.
No
I'm
problem.
Glad, I'm glad you had a reaction to it. What it's about. I wrote it very much inspired by like a very, very dear friend of mine who she lives elsewhere. She doesn't live in Colorado, and it was after Billy Strings was in town that weekend, and we went to the show with two of our very close friends, and one lives in Texas, one has moved to Europe now, and coming home like the last night, the second night of Billy Strings, we were like Ubering home late at night, and talking about like how bummed we are, like that these two are such great friends of ours who we love so incredibly much, and that we won't see them for a while after that. And so the next day, her and I, this friend, we went on a hike, and we were just chatting. She left for the airport that day, and I went straight home to write this song. And I tried to be really smart with it at first. Like, I was looking up, like, what kind of birds migrate from Colorado to Texas, and like the central airstream that they fly down, and trying to fit a whole lot into it at first. But it really is like she's somebody who's super important to in my life. Never anything more than a friend, and but I'm glad more comes through in that, because like it's someone I have a great emotional connection to, and she's one of the most awesome people in the world, and she's out there doing her thing, and I think it's so cool of her. But yeah, that's pretty much
That's awesome.
that's the song.
Well, I share, I think, something that obviously you guys have in your music and, of course, your name, is the love for animals.
Yeah.
And so that's nature, at least that's the way I look at nature. I love dogs because of unconditional love, and I really love butterflies because they go out of a very kind of tight cocoon, and they emerge into this beautiful animal, and it can go thousands of miles to find where they're supposed to go. So it's about this journey and coming back, and nature to me is very pure and innocent. But I love the journey that everyone kind of encompasses, either with themselves or with other people. So at least that's what I'm gathering when I'm listeling to your music.
Nice.
It's kind of this purity to it.
And I think there's so much imagery to be gathered from nature as well in it. Of like writing that song, a big part of like what I'm focusing on in writing is showing, not telling. I think it might have been like Paul McCartney or something that said that, but I could be wildly off. But showing, not telling, and not being blatantly like,
this is what we're talking about.
She's gone, sort of thing. And like another song that I wrote that we play, like it's called South Fork Honeydew, and it's a weird, eerie song. It wouldn't work well on acoustic. But it's, once again, I took a trip I went on a 3-week road trip, and I was in the Redwoods, and it was a really scary night of camping. And so the whole focus is on like using the imagery of nature to sort of like paint the picture of what you want to get across without blatantly saying like, I was on a really scary camping trip.
For sure. That's kind of what storytelling is about, right?
Yeah.
If you're reading a book or reading lyrics and then you hear it performed, it's like, where is this? What's going on in my brain? I found myself, actually, I closed my eyes through about half of it, and I'm like in the middle of the forest watching this bird kind of fly around. And it was this so pure, and I see rocks and, of course, Colorado in the background. But so it's very cool.
That is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
awesome.
Oh, thank you. You did it, not me. That's why I like being on this side, because I don't have the talent on that side. So.
And I absolutely love how, and you guys would definitely agree with me, John would agree with me too, that, there's why you wrote it, but then there's what somebody else takes from it. And a lot of times, at least in my mind, it doesn't matter why, I wrote it or why the musician wrote it. It's what people take from it, what they attach to their lives.
Definitely. I was just thinking that. I get stuck on that too much. Because like I was saying, I have this issue where I'll write something, and it's kind of just stream of consciousness. And then I'm stuck with the task of creating a narrative to it in my head. But that's what everybody's doing anytime they listen to anything.
Exactly.
So it's like, as long as it ends up as a narrative that you are okay with, or, does something you like, I'm okay with it. But also, like, that's a skill, to be able to take, this is what I want to do, and do it. Like, you're better at that than I am. And I think for the dichotomy of the band, one, it's awesome that we both can do that. And I think, two, like, we've learned a bunch, like we were talking about, just from talking about songwriting with one another. But I totally agree. Like, I always think back they used to have a good Eagles doc on Netflix. They all talk about Hotel California, and they're all like, who knows what it's about? And it's like, well, all right.
That's exactly what I was just thinking. That song specifically. Because a lot of these are so beautiful to me. And then I have Josh over here, and he goes, that's not what the song's about at all. I was like, it's not a love song? He's like, no, it's about, like, a hooker or something. And I'm like, what?
I've ruined a lot of songs for her. So, yeah. She doesn't want me to tell her what songs are about
I
anymore.
don't. I like living in the bliss of
ignorance.
what's exactly.
It is.
And it's about something to you too.
Yeah.
Something different to you.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it hasn't ruined songs for me, but sometimes, when I look it up, I'm just like, that's all right, that's weird.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so personal to me, and it was just so you guys have Cervantes on the other side on August 9th, and you said after that you're gonna kind of chill out with playing live and hit that studio, right?
Yeah, him and I plan to actually ramp up our acoustic stuff, just because we love to play. I mean, I think this is off topic, but we were talking about it a second ago about nature and just the purity of it. And I feel like we just have so much fun doing it. Like, I'm glad that rings true and us playing. It's awesome to hear that. But we have had these songs. I mean, wide. We've been playing for what? As long as you've been in the band,
Since
right?
before I was in the band.
Yeah. So we recorded a first album at Evergroove in Evergreen, which is an awesome studio with Brad Smalling and Athena Wilkinson. They do an amazing job. And that was kind of me making a band and teaching people these songs I'd written. And I would say we're much more in a place now where everybody feels like they're our songs. And I think we're really excited to take a step back, lean into, like, what's my part on this song? What am I bringing? Instead of, I'm playing this progression for the bridge, But all that to say, there's still a lot of work to be done. We have the songs written, but I think we want to start playing to a click, which we don't do right now. Which we've spent probably the past year and a half getting the equipment to be able to do all that. So it's exciting, but we're excited to get it recorded too. We're very excited about these songs.
Yes. So you're going to be doing a lot of the recording in-house?
No, just to be able to practice even.
Just to practice.
Yeah, like we record every practice, send it out, so you can listen to it. Same with shows. Any shows we do ourselves, we record them. Because, I mean, being a live band, the final form is to record every show, put it out the next day, I don't know if we're quite close to that yet, but we have the ability to do it, right? So, we'll be playing to a click a bunch, and hopefully a lot of rehearsing. we've already put the deposit down and stuff. We just got to pick the date. So it's exciting.
And everything is already written for
all
the
written.
new. Okay.
Everything's written. I think
Wow.
what 8 or 10 songs.
I think we're up to 11 now.
11 songs
Oh,
ready to
that's
go for the
amazing.
album, and so all of really what I believe are like our best songs. And this was I might have mentioned it earlier. Like I had seen Orca play before I ever joined the band, and it was sort of like my grand plot to like figure my way in there. And like some of these songs, like Rob's written some incredible songs. Like Crickets is a song that I think we have a live version on Spotify, but just really cool songs that I enjoyed before ever being a part of it. And so it makes it much easier come show day or the weeks leading up to a show to be like bugging all your friends and coworkers to come to the show when you really believe that like you're doing something cool.
Yeah. And I think that's been such a big thing in terms of, the evolution of this band. We talk a bunch about how we do a lot of things. One of them being, I feel like I'm a go, just do, and then deal with the ramifications. You're more of a planner. And I feel like Orca, correct me if I'm wrong, but
No, that's cool.
with Orca, like we recorded a bunch and put out a bunch of stuff initially on Spotify, a bunch of live stuff, and then kind of after a year and a half, we're like, wait a minute, this stuff isn't really what we want to be in terms of quality yet. So it's exciting that I think we all feel this way, and that we're getting to a point where we're really excited about how we play live. Obviously excited about how we're writing. So I'll lose my train of thought, sorry, but it's exciting.
No, it is. But again, it goes back to what we were talking about before. Whatever you have already released and then what you're about to release here in the next months.
Yeah.
It's the journey that you all have been on, right? So it kind of illustrates the different talents, the different styles, the different years, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I love watching that with bands as they kind of morph through the years and develop very different sounds. I mean, I've heard people go from alternative to kind of bluegrass to complete heavy metal. And so I kind of like that journey of it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's cool because so me, John, and Rob are the 3 main songwriters. We play probably the least of my songs, and then Rob, and then John's are the most. But we're all influenced by wildly different music. And so John is a big jam band guy of Widespread Panic and Fish and stuff like that. And I'm new to that. Last summer was the first time I had seen either of those bands and Billy Strings, and I love that music. But like I came into it from like I got into guitar from like singer-songwriter John Mayer stuff, and then I got into the blues from there, and then it was the Dead. Rob, on the other hand, is not a jam band guy at all. Like he does it really well within Orca, but like it's tough to get him to come to one of those shows with us sometimes. And so
It's fun when he does, though.
It's a whole
Very
lot of
fun
fun when he does, but he's into more poppy stuff, and he has the voice for that kind of music too. And so it's really cool when putting a show together and putting a set list together for a show, thinking about like, oh, we're gonna have this rockin' song, and then this super sweet one by Rob, and then whatever, this bluegrass one that Don brought to us. And it's cool because we talk a lot about like the whole jam band thing is like jam band people love jam bands, but what about we want to be accessible to anyone who just loves music. And so it's cool having all those different influences to be able to put a show together that's not just for the people who love Fish and Widespread Panic and stuff like that.
I love it, exactly. It shows just kind of a versatility of it where, and I'm kind of where I like jam bands for a while. And then it just kind of gets at me. It's just like, okay, dude, like, what time is it now? But no, just to really kind of, do the rock, the poppy, the jam, and just kind of mesh together. I absolutely love that idea. And you're going to be doing a lot of that on your next album, right? So your first album was 2022?
Yes.
Okay. And so you're thinking about this one sometime early next year, maybe?
Yeah, it's looking like hopefully by spring we'll have it out.
Okay.
I think the biggest takeaway from last time was just prep better. And all the stuff we've been talking about will make that easier. I mean, I think the musicianship alone from where we were 2 years ago in terms of people and just, all of us having played for 2 more years is so much higher. So I'm really excited for that. And I think, too, there'll be such a wide spread of types of songs on it, which will be awesome.
Nice. That is so cool. Where you've mentioned Spotify a couple times, so people can find you on Spotify. Where else can our listeners and everyone find you?
Yeah.
First and foremost, I would go to YouTube.
Okay.
Just search Orca the band on YouTube. We were talking about this a bit before we started. Of my buddy Mitch, he owns a video production agency based out of Columbus, Ohio. And so we traded guitar lessons for video editing lessons. And so we've had a focus on like putting out live versions of songs on YouTube, as well as like breaking them down into Instagram reels and putting them on TikTok. I'm not too familiar with TikTok personally, but they're out there on TikTok. And so like Instagram, Orca _ band.
Yeah.
And then searches on YouTube, Orca the band. Those are the main things. Like we have a website, but that's pretty much
we have a
just leading
website.
you to those places.
There's a
I
band
believe.
camp with all of the stuff we took down off the streaming services if you want to hear the old live Orca stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
But I'd say our Instagram is kind of like the home
Yeah.
page in terms of what's going on.
Cool. And we follow you on Facebook too.
Facebook
Yeah,
too.
Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah, because that your information for Cervantes is on there for August 9th.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if people want to go see you, where would they get tickets?
They could go directly through Serve's website, but for free tickets, like it's $18 and without like all the like processing fees. If you DM us on Facebook or Instagram, we'll throw you on the list. If you two are free that day, we'll just throw you two on the list. You three are free that day.
Nice.
We'll just throw
I like
you
it
on
when
the
we're
list 'cause-
VIP.
Yeah,
Come hang out backstage.
we would love to
Do
have
another
you hang
interview.
in there because it's
Can we go backstage and
Oh,
say
yeah.
we're not worthy?
please, we're not worthy. It's been awesome being
I've always
on
wanted
this,
to pull a Wayne's World with somebody, and I just haven't had the time.
It would be
They invited.
quite possibly the greatest honor of my life if you pulled the Wayne's World on us.
Wow. Okay,
Have to do it now.
that's some pressure. Okay.
We're gonna have to practice it and sync it really
Yeah.
well.
I
Like they
know.
did. So we can't be off. Since they're since they're so on their music, we can't be off on our praising.
True. We have to practice our harmonious. We're not worthy.
Exactly. Man, it's been such a pleasure having you.
Thank you
guys.
so much for having us. It's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely love it. Thank you so much. I can't wait. Cervantes, August 9th. Cervantes on the other side.
Yeah, this side.
On the other side. And you guys have a 75-minute.
Yep.
Man.
That's very
It'll be fun.
cool.
We'll have one new, the last one, which I guess we haven't totally talked about, but I plan to put on the album. The band doesn't know.
Oh
that.
yeah,
one new
Now they
original
know
will
now.
be debuting. Yeah.
yeah. Some fun covers will be going.
Yeah,
into
we
that
got some new
show.
stuff to play, which is always good. We're excited.
Do you guys like playing covers when you're playing live quite a bit, or a lot of just original?
I
throw
love
it
it all. Being a jam band, like when we earlier on, we were really focused on the like Grateful Dead and Fish covers and stuff like that, which I do enjoy playing. Like I think the Grateful Dead song catalog is the best out there. But it's been fun now talking about like what are different covers that like people will recognize, but not as jam band stuff, and try to put our own spin.
Yeah,
on
I
it.
love it.
And so in that way, I love doing it. Like it's fun to kind of put your own spin on it, and also like there are these songs that like I grew up singing, and the opportunity to sing it on a stage in front of people,
Yeah.
like of course. And so I think covers are fun, a lot of fun.
Yeah, covers rock for sure.
I think you nailed it right there, because in my mind it's just like, if you're going to cover something, don't just play the song.
Yeah.
Make it your own.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, put your own style, your own swing, your own.
If we're covering Jimmy Buffett, we're never going to be Jimmy Buffett. You know, like it'd be cool. It'd be really cool to be Jimmy Buffett. But
You guys don't have the shirts for it.
yeah,
sorry.
we don't have the shirts for it. It's not possible. So, so it's fun making it our own thing, and then figuring out the harmonies like we talked about it for.
That's the
and-
most fun of it, honestly. Is the harmonies. 'Cause
Yeah.
we got Rob just cooking back there.
Yeah,
It all comes together, and you're like, wow, never thought we'd sound like this.
yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys again for coming in and playing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you had the biggest smile on your face. That was so fun to watch when you guys were singing.
I'm glad
That's
to hear
awesome.
That was. It's
love
so,
doing it.
it's-
Yeah,
I can
we
tell.
love it.
It definitely
Yeah.
comes through with
Nice.
your music
Well,
completely.
thank you. It's been, like, thank you both so
Yeah,
much for
seriously,
having
thank
us.
you
Like,
for
this has
having
been a ton of fun, and gonna on the way home be listening to the station and keep it going through. You're on from 2 to 5.
2 to
correct?
5. Yep.
we
And
go.
I play, when I am on the afternoon show, I play all Colorado artists, with
Awesome.
the exception of my first and last one.
Really?
Yes.
Do you already know going into it what you're playing right at 2? You don't have to.
I know
spoil
my
anything.
first song and last song. That stays the
Okay.
same, but I mix it up.
it stays the same.
It stays
What is
my
it?
first. No, you're gonna have to listen.
Yeah, we will.
She
I
can
will
get a
be
little.
listening.
She can get a little schizo too, where it's just like a nice, soft, beautiful song, and then it's like a rocker right after. It's just like, what's going on?
Okay, I have done that one time. It was not on purpose. It was my very first show. But no, it's all Colorado musicians because it's. I mean, we have almost 100 in our rotation now.
That's awesome.
So I mean, and that's just musicians. Like songs, we have hundreds and hundreds of them. So I mean, it's pretty amazing the talent. So thank you all for sharing with our listeners how
Yeah,
talented
You guys are doing
are.
a site overhaul right now, right?
We are. Our website, it's got a few more, I guess, upgrades or updates or whatever. It should be done in about a week or so. And, it's just going to be great. So, we just absolutely love it. Giving Colorado artists a platform. That's why we love you guys coming in and just sharing your music and being able for us. I mean, you guys have been in our rotation for a little while and we just love this aspect. This is what makes the job worth it.
Yeah, I mean, we've never done this, and we're very glad we did. So thank you guys for having us.
The last time I was on the radio, I won.
Last time.
I think I was 8 years old. I won a competition at Great Clips to be the junior announcer for a minor league baseball team. I think I performed better this time around. So thanks for
long as you're
bringing
getting better.
Thanks for bringing me back for a second shot at
No
it. So
problem. Can I
it. You
find
did
that
the-
somewhere online? I
My-
kind of want a YouTube of that.
my mom's got a cassette of it somewhere.
Okay.
So I'll ask
See
her
what
to
you
dig
can
up
do.
that cassette
James's
tape.
mom. All right? It is contact at K4CORadio.com. We will take good care of it. And, play it everywhere.
It will be played. I'm just letting you know.
I'll text her right after this to get on it.
You got it. All right. Well, we've been talking with, again, John Tyson and James McPhillips with Orca, the band. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
It was such a pleasure. And you guys play so wonderful. Our second band that we've had live in the studio. And it just worked out great.
It's awesome. Thank you
Yeah,
guys.
thank you so much.
No problem at all. All right. You've been listening to a special K4CO interview. And just so you know, this interview will be up on the K4CO YouTube page in the next few days so that you can relive it all again. So you guys take care. We're going to get you into our rotation or what's going on right now. And stay tuned for Afternooners with Sarah from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Thanks a lot, Orca the band. And you guys will hear from us later. And we're going to end this on one of your songs that we have in our rotation. Here's Orca the band with Annabelle. You guys take care.
Just last night, she checked my mate. I swear a new sun lights her every day. Yeah, she brings me life, so I just sway. Once I meet her eyes, I only hope they'll say, "Seen your love, seen your love." Right through your space.